Welcome to our webinar, To Freelance or Convince You that freelancing is on the rise. Today we have people from Belgium, France, Croatia, Serbia, Germany, the US, India, Switzerland, the Netherlands, Georgia, Romania, and Angola following this webinar, meaning that we are covering right now different time zones. Welcome to all of you. You probably subscribed because you want to become a freelancer. Great, and congratulations! I hope the sound is good, and please don't hesitate to comment something in the chat box if something is not working appropriately. I know a lot of people who are not happy in their professional life, a lot of people who stay stuck in the corporate rat race, thinking about making a change, however, not acting. They want to make a career change, but the golden cage is often too safe. And we agree, it's scary not to be sure to have a steady income. Insecurity is scary. Doing it alone, make it work, is not easy. But today we will tell you your life can change by becoming a freelancer. And you are not alone. Agencies like us, a freelance community, fellow freelancers can help you. And we are convinced that if you don't like where you are, you should change it. So welcome to our webinar. The objective is to give you some insights in the world of freelancing and our way of working with freelancers. Should you have a question, you can type it in the chat box and we will try to answer your question during the webinar. We also advise you to connect with us via LinkedIn after the webinar, and we welcome you to set up an interview or video call with the person that seems most appropriate. I am Sophia from HRbuilders, living and working in Brussels and Europe, and my colleagues of the International Dream Team are also joining the conversation. Cécile is working in Europe, living in France and expert of the French markets. Sigrun is working in Europe, living in France and expert of the German markets. Jennifer is our newest Dream Team member, is living and working in Argentina, and Jennifer will develop our concept for the market in Latin America. Catherine, unfortunately dedicated to the US market, cannot attend because on this very moment she is hosting a client event in the Chamber of Commerce in Indianapolis. Our colleagues of the Belgium Dream Team are available for people living in Belgium. You can find their names here, and obviously after the webinar we will share the presentation and we will also record the broadcast. So what is the content for today's webinar? We will talk about market trends. The market is ready. Are you ready? We will tell you something about HRbuilders. Who are we and what do we do? Of course, we will tell you something about our interim managers. Who are they and where do they come from? And definitely, what about the daily fee you can expect as a freelancer? And other concerns like pension funds, sickness, etc. Last but not least, we will give you some contact details of partners we work with and who can help you to set up your own company or your own structure. So as I said, after the webinar, we will send you the presentation so you can look into details at the slides. We will record the broadcast and we will put it afterwards on our YouTube channel. You will also receive the link of the webinar. And again, don't hesitate to ask questions. My colleagues are eager to answer them. So let's start then. Let's start with the market trends, the first subject of today. I think we don't have to tell you that the world of employment is changing rapidly. Technological and demographic shifts, globalization, and the pursuit of happiness and well-being influence the workforce and the labor market profoundly. Is that a problem? Well, no, and following Peter Drucker, the greatest danger in times of turbulence is not the turbulence, it is to act with yesterday's logic. So we have to change our mindsets and consider working differently. I would like to share a really interesting article delivered by Deloitte University. And I invite you to Google it after this webinar to learn more about their view on the future of work. And Deloitte identifies 4 drivers. You can see them here in the slideshow. Demographic upheaval, of course, we have the millennials working close to baby boomers. We have technology. Technology is everywhere, disrupting business models and radically changing the workplace and the way work is done. And a third drive for change is the speed in the exponential economy. The rate of change has accelerated enormously, forcing organizations to respond and reposition themselves quickly to tackle new challenges. And an agile workforce can help them to attain this. Because also, and here we are, the fourth driver, this is what it is all about today, is the new social contract between employer and worker. This is a major trend and it's not going to stop. There is a new social contract developing between companies and workers. But of course, probably you know this already, otherwise you shouldn't follow this webinar. The relationship between employee and employers is changing drastically. The days when a majority of workers could expect to spend a career moving up the ladder at one company are over. And people anticipate working for many employers and they demand an enriching experience at every stage. This leads to expectations of a compelling and flexible workplace and a sense of mission and purpose at work. So you all will agree that the popular concept of work as a traditional 9-to-5 job has disappeared. Millions of the self-employed freelancers and temporary workers, as well as individuals renting out rooms on Airbnb, driving for Uber, or selling goods on eBay, they all are part of a significant trend that we call independent work. So the contingent workforce has gone global. Contingent workforce means that people don't have a permanent contract anymore. And the total workforce management, well, today we have fixed workers, temporary workers, freelancers, outsourcing, offshoring, intercompany sharing. A lot is going on in companies today. And in Harvard Business Review, we found recently this interesting article, Who Wins in the Gig Economy and Who Loses? And really, we do have to admit that a lot of low-educated people suffer in the gig economy. And they are being exploited in certain situations. But this article shows clearly that probably you with a specialized skill and deep expertise, that you will win in the gig economy. So people who possess strong technical management, leadership, or creative abilities, or entrepreneurial workers, they will win. So you will win. Because why? You can count on an attractive compensation, and you can choose to do challenging and interesting work. You can structure your own working lives as a freelancer. So if you as an independent worker are comfortable with and excited about developing your own income stream, about marketing yourself and connecting with others, you are best positioned to take advantage of the main opportunities in the new economy. So are you comfortable with it? Today, and these figures are based on a survey of McKinsey, contingent contracts, part-time or freelance workers make up of 1/3 of the workforce in the United States. So that means that 1 in 3 US workers are freelancers. And it's a figure expected to grow with 40% by 2020. And here in this slide, you can see that of the total working population in the UK, 26% is freelancer, in Sweden 28%, France 30%, Germany 25%, and Spain 31%. So you can see here also the number of independent workers in the grey blocks here per country. So these numbers are quite huge and they are still growing. So worldwide, freelancers represent a significant segment of all workforces. The freelance economy is not going away, it just started. It is growing and the best is yet to come. I hope we were able to convince you so far that the market is ready for the freelance economy. And what are other trends in our working lives? Gallup reports that over 80% of workers aren't engaged in their jobs. Also, many other studies reveal high levels of stress and dissatisfaction among employees. A lot of people are unhappy in their job, and we know in our experience that freelance people really are far more happy if they are independent and working for themselves. So if you consider becoming a freelancer, don't hesitate. On a global scale, we see that freelancing is increasing and it makes you happy. So anyone who has ever felt trapped in a cubicle or annoyed by a micromanaging boss or was fed up with office politics has probably dreamed of leaving it all behind and going alone. The intensifying demands of corporate life are making the option of freelancing more appealing for millions of workers around the world. So why not for you? Another trend that I want to mention is the trend that a lot of client companies tell us that support functions will disappear. They must cut costs. So what will those big companies do? HR functions have to disappear and the role will be taken by freelancers. Freelancers have the right expertise. Freelancers have added value from day one, can work on very specific subjects, and when the work is done, they leave the company again. Also, asking a permanent position holder to do the same job in your company means that somebody has to learn how to solve the problem, and that takes time and costs money. Already a lot of big companies know that if they work with a freelancer, they can have better results and save costs. So yes, we have a lot of companies who already see the advantages of freelancers and they come back as a client. So that means that the model really works. I hope you're convinced right now that the market is ready. So the question is, are you ready to quit your boss and to start up your own business? We did some research in 2017 and we asked our freelance community if they would consider returning to a permanent position. And as you can see in the results, people who choose to become a freelancer find it unlikely or very unlikely to go back to a permanent position. And this is really a feedback that we receive from most people that we work with. Most independent workers have actively chosen their working style and report high levels of satisfaction with it. And what are the reasons to become a freelancer? First of all, the flexibility and freedom of choosing own projects, when and where. You can do different things in different contexts, in different industries, in different regions, and also in different countries. Why not? And this definitely has a huge impact on your learning curve and agility. Having the choice is a critical determinant of satisfaction in an individual's working life. And also from a flexibility perspective, we see the growing trend that companies and freelancers work together in a very flexible way. To give you an idea, for example, in our contracts, we put, for example, the sentence that this person will work on average 4 days a week. But depending on the work, this can mean one day in 1 week when there is not a lot to do, and then in a week where the project is really on the top of its demands, well, then the freelancer can work 4 or even full time. So freelancing really gives flexibility to companies. And people who have a passion for their work and like the possibility to focus on results, they also really like freelancing because they don't have to struggle with politics and power in a company. Freelancers experience also more than people in permanent positions that they have impacts. They really work towards results and they even feel more respected than permanent position holders. Our findings on satisfaction are consistent with existing research from McKinsey. Other researchers similarly found that self-employed workers are substantially more satisfied than traditional employees. And this effect is really consistent across a wide range of geographies. Moreover, analysis shows that the most important drivers of this difference were increased autonomy independent workers enjoy and the fact that they tend to find the work they do more interesting. And yes, we are totally transparent with HRbuilders. Of course, there are also disadvantages of freelancing. Definitely, we will not hide it, and it's a reality. There is also the uncertainty, and this really can cause a lot of stress. We can't guarantee that you will have a job permanently, and it is difficult to plan ahead. So this is really a disadvantage, and is absolutely linked to the economic situation of periods. I must admit that today the economy is doing well. On a global perspective, the economy is growing. We have a lot of requests for talent acquisition people, for HR people who are setting up new projects in companies. So today it's rather easy to become a freelancer, but that can change tomorrow or next year. So in less certain economic times, we hear that freelancers sometimes choose a project that is less interesting or under their level of competencies. On the other hand, doing a project within your comfort zone can also be nice. And even certain freelancers did tell us, okay, now I want to do something challenging. And then maybe the next project they say, okay, now I'm ready to do something that is within my comfort zone because I have also some other projects to tackle. There are other things that needs to be done. Yes, talking about disadvantages, and this is depending on the country where you live. For example, in the UK and the Netherlands, and even in Belgium, a lot of people already know the concepts. But in some countries, we need policymakers to think about the way freelance people can work in their country. A huge topic is income security protection, unemployment insurance, compensation, whether if you are sick or handicapped, or disability insurance. Minimum wages do not apply to freelancers, and retirement security is definitely a concern. So that's also to take into consideration. If you make your business plan, think about those insurances that you have to cover, because sometimes it really is not foreseen in the general law of your country, but you should to be sure that it is covered by your own personal insurance coverages. Other potential hurdles include reduced accesses to credits. I think about France, for example. People who don't have a fixed contract, they are in several situations not able to rent a house. Another risk as a freelancer is not being paid for work that is already performed. Big companies, they can ask a delay of payment of 90 days, and as an individual, well, that is not so evident. For sure, if you work with an agency as HRbuilders, we will protect you against this kind of risks. We guarantee good contracts, and we assure you also that you will be paid on time and correctly. Something what is also really important, and that is then something that you as a freelancer should be do, is make sure that you can offer differentiated skills. You have to become a real expert in certain fields. And in HR, that can be in mergers and acquisitions, change, employer branding, HRIS. Also, being a very good generalist is really an asset. A generalist who is able to work in all kinds of settings and industries. But as an independent worker, you have to think like a business and you have to market yourself. And here we as an agency, of course, can help you. What kind of missions can an interim manager do? So they help organizations to deal with unusual and complex situations like restructuring, or it can also be managing day-to-day operations. Maternity leave when somebody is sick, depending on the context of the company. About the duration of assignments, within HRbuilders, we see that on average, an interim assignment takes up from 6 to 18 months, and even more. We have interim managers already on an assignment for more than 2 years. And if you are good as a freelancer, you will come in a company and you will help the client define more projects. You as an expert, you will see, hey, there is an opportunity to help. Hey, there is an opportunity to save costs. Hey, there is an opportunity to ameliorate a certain procedure. And if you are capable of showing that you can save money for the company, the project is rather easily sold. And in most of our cases, contracts are extended. And then, okay, I talked about uncertainty, and this is really a topic for a lot of people, but who can be sure to have a job for life these days? Good interim managers with good and solid expertise have today really the choice to choose their projects. And it's very rare that they don't have a job. And if you are doubting about your profile, I really invite you to contact Cecile, Siron, Jennifer, or myself to discuss about it. Because maybe you don't have a benchmark, but we can rather easily give you inputs on the facts if you have a good CV and good experience. And in some situations, we even advise a freelancer to gain a certain amount of expertise in a certain domain before he starts a freelance career. But we are there really to help you and to advise you if you would like to exchange about that. And how can you minimize uncertainty? Also by developing a network, which is really important for you as an interim manager. When you decide to become a freelancer, every day you should work on developing your network. And you can use agencies. So make a list of all the agencies like HRbuilders, but we also have very good competitors with who you would like to work, and keep in touch with them. Freelancers, they find work many ways, and the number one, and don't forget this, is via friends and family. Don't underestimate it. When you are at a party, a family gathering, tell people that you are freelancing and what you are doing. Stay in contact with people, all your professional contacts, and don't underestimate it. This is really important. Obviously, you can also use social media. And we at HRbuilders, for example, we post a lot of our assignments on our website. You can follow us on Twitter. And there exist a lot of freelance platforms where you can scroll and see which opportunities there are. However, I have to admit, I prefer LinkedIn for freelance assignments. Most platforms are more for low-level jobs. So the best thing you could do is look at the social media platforms of good agencies in your country. Also, something really important. Freelancers who develop good and long-term relationship with us, the agencies, freelancers who attend our events, who regularly write a mail. And I think, for example, Sylvia, I already know her for 5 years. From time to time, she sends me a mail, Christmas greetings. Now she attends the webinar. But well, that helps me to never forget her. And if there is an assignment that pops up, well, I will think about her more easily than to people with whom I only spoke once. So don't be afraid and don't think that you are intrusive, but send us a mail regularly. If you have a new project, just let us know. Tell us, okay, this is my new project. I will be available again then. This is what I learned. If you stay out of sight, you stay out of our working memory. And this is really important because as soon as the leads come in, if a client calls us, we immediately start thinking about possible candidates. And first, we use our brain. And then after that search in our working brain, we will use other tools and databases. So the main message here is keep in contact with all the people that are capable of giving you a job. So here we are now at the third chapter of our webinar. Now I'm going to tell you something about HRbuilders. Not to do promotion, but I would like to explain you how an interim agency works and how we can help you to build up your freelance career. HRbuilders is a Belgian company and we operate from an office boat in Belgium in Ghent. And the name of our boat is Kate, referred to our values. which are commitments, authenticity, transparency, and enthusiasm. And HR is really in our DNA. HR is what we do, what we know best, and it's the only thing we do. So as I already mentioned, we have 3 business partners who focus on the Belgian market, Isabel, Leslie, and Hilde. 3 on the European market, myself, Cecile, and Sigrun. Jennifer is focusing on LATAM, and we have Catherine who is focusing on the US. Of course, we really have ambitions to grow. So should you be interested to join our team, then also I would welcome you to reach out to us. We are all ex-HR people, and yeah, we all have over 14 years of experience in the various HR domains. So why should you work with a company as us? We have one niche. We really know the market very well because, to be honest, it's the only thing that we do. Day in, day out, we are in contact with people, HR people working in companies and with HR freelancers. So this is our niche, HR, freelancing, and temporary work. We started 10 years ago in Belgium, where we are now market leader, and we grow our presence in Europe. In Europe now, we are active since 4 years, and the US and LATAM, these are our new babies. In fact, we just started this year, and for us, this is really an experiment. We will see how this grows. Today, we have a network of more than 2,500 HR directors or managers screened in person. So this means 2,400 entry managers that we know. And today, 52 people are working for us in Belgium, and 26 people are working on international assignments. And maybe you think now, oh my God, they know 2,400 people and only 52 people or 70 people are working for them. Well, okay, I must admit that might seems a little bit difficult for you to work for us, but it's really a puzzle. There are many people, we contact them regularly, but very often they tell us, okay, sorry, but now I have an assignment and I am not available. So it really is a puzzle, and yeah, sometimes it works and sometimes it works not. We have several assignments open today. I will show them to you later on in this presentation, and then fingers crossed that one day we will work together. But the main message again is stay in touch and don't hesitate to reach out to us from time to time. So some numbers, oh, I should have changed it. We are 10 years in business. We are celebrating our birthday. We are the number 1 in Belgium. Until now, we managed more than 400 assignments. 35% of our revenue is international. And in Belgium, at least, it takes us 1 week to solve a client's problem. I must admit that in Western Europe or West European countries, it takes up to 2 weeks to solve a client's problem. And for the US and Latin America, we don't have enough experience yet to give you more information. But I assume that it also should evolve into the direction of 2 weeks, because speed is really one of our value propositions to our clients. So if a client calls us and he asks for an entry manager, we start immediately looking in our working memory and databases, and we try to find as soon as possible a person with the right skill set and a fee that is, in our opinion, aligned with the market. We worked for more than 175 companies so far. So here you see some clients we are working for. To give you an idea, some recent contracts we closed. HR Director UK Ireland for Sanofi in London, a Change Communication Manager EMEA for Estée Lauder in Paris, an HR business partner for Christian Dior. I guess that globally this is a brand that people know. I don't know, for Godiva chocolates. Therefore, we found an HR business partner. Also for Danone, an HR business partner. And in Germany recently, an HR manager for the French company Bolloré. So we have global assignments and we have local assignments. Most of our companies are big companies, but we also work for smaller companies. And to give you an idea about our growth, in 2014 in Belgium we had 47 assignments, and today we already have 52 assignments, and we are only February. On the international markets, and today this is only Europe involved. In 2014 we were about to start. We had 8 assignments, and now in February we have 26 interim managers working for us. And what kind of positions do we have within HRbuilders, or for what kind of positions do clients contact us? In the top 3, you will see that 36% of the requests are for generalist people. And what are generalist people? HR managers, business partners, or HR directors. Then number 2, we have talent acquisition. So 23% of the requests are recruitment people, and this can be for operational assignments and also for management level. And then on the third position, we have comp and ben, 10%. This is comp and ben and payroll, and 7% is for social relations and restructuring assignments. And a smaller demand is for talent management, learning and development. And also, by doing this analysis, I saw that in 2017, the demand for HRIS people also declined. On our website, you can see the kind of assignments we have right now. And you also can find them on our LinkedIn page and on Twitter. We always post a little bit of information about the assignment. So as you can see here, this is really the format that we use to post on social media. And then we ask you to contact the person who is mentioned in the announcements. The assignments that you see here are for international people, but based in Brussels. So suppose that you are interested in the senior talent acquisition position, you have to contact Sigrun, you send her a mail, you send your CV, and you explain a little bit why you should be interested. Well, then very soon she will contact you and set up a short exchange with you in order to see, okay, are you the right person for this assignment? Doing an in-depth interview, and then if you both agree that you could be a good fit for the assignment, you and the matchmaker, so Sigrun, Cecile, or Jennifer, or Catherine, will present your profile to the customer. And if the customer is interested, an interview will follow. So you can see here the kind of assignments that we have right now in Brussels: HR business partner, EMEA scope, HR manager in Germany, for a German company, also for the Brussels region, and this is for a carve-out. Talent and performance management assignment, EMEA scope, and an international HRBP function with a focus on talent acquisition also in Brussels. But okay, maybe I shouldn't talk too much about these assignments, because we have people following also from the US and other countries today. In the US, we have 1 assignment running today for an HR management position in Houston. And here we have 3 assignments in Germany, France, Limoges, and then a third one, which is a global assignment, and there the place where the person lives is not that important, but should you want to have more information, don't hesitate to reach out to the business partners. So this brings me to the next chapter. Self-employed professionals. We work with self-employed professionals, and what is important, as I already told you, that we personally know you. So try to meet us, try to stay in contact, and send us up-to-date mails. I can't repeat that enough. So if you have a few people in several agencies, well, make one list for them and regularly send black copy mails to all of them in order to keep them informed. You can also attend our seminars. I'm just going to have a look at the questions that I see here, because I have a lot of messages in my telephone also. I just want to check if there is no technical issue. Okay, so I think so far everything is okay. Okay, I will continue then. Good, so what can you do to get to know us better? Attend our seminars. We organize regularly workshops in Belgium, but also abroad. Recently we had a seminar in France, and today there is also a seminar in Indianapolis in the US. We are expanding our team, and we really are willing to organize a lot of seminars. Soon we will have one in Munich, so if you would like to join, reach out to us. It's really good to meet us, and it can be virtually via Skype, internet. We are flexible. We also travel a lot, so if you let us know, I live in this city and I would like to meet you, well, then we also can arrange for a coffee. It's important to do that, because when you are working, when you are having an assignment, it's difficult to keep in touch with your network. You are fully into the work, you are very busy, but then the day that your assignment stops, it will take a lot of time to reactivate your network again. So you have to keep in touch with them. And who are our freelancers? So this is the profile of our freelancers, and you will see we have male, female, younger people, older people, and age. Really, age is not a criterion for our clients. For them, the most important thing is really the expertise. And our freelancers, they are flexible and agile. They have an experience in different settings and environments. Sensitive for diversity, multiculturalism. They have a senior expertise, and they add value from day one. So our freelancers, I can say, they are trendsetters and experts. So if you think that you fit in this profile, then you are the perfect future freelancer to work with us. So don't underestimate the importance of your own development. Stay updated. Try out to gain attention via social media, and show people that you have a certain expertise. And we, as an agency, we will help you to sell you as an expert towards our clients. So for us, it's also important to understand what you can do and what your competencies are. Chapter 5 is a chapter that most people also really found interesting. And up front, I have to excuse, because the information that I give here is about an average for the European the Western European markets. I'm convinced that as soon as we will have more market insights for Latin America and for America, we will be able to also give you this information. But for now, the information that I give you is for Western Europe. And for Eastern European countries, the fees are a bit lower than what I will show you here. Because as a beginning freelancer, it's difficult for you to know how much you could invoice. It is a very difficult question, and it really depends on the scope of the assignment, the country, the length of the assignment, and to be very honest and transparent, also on the client's budget. Often a client can say to us, yeah, okay, this is the maximum budget that I have. If it's not reasonable, we will say, okay, then sorry, we will not work with you. We will not contact freelancers because this is really below the market price. We don't think this is a correct budget. But very often we try to work with the budget that the client gives us. And then we try to negotiate with freelancers, and we try to find a fee where there is a win-win for everybody. We considered 3 levels. You can work as an interim manager on strategical level, operational level, and a level C is level B is organizational level, and level C is operational level. A strategical level, well, that's an interim manager who will help analyzing the situation, and he will help the client also to define what to do and how to do it. Whereas an organizational interim manager, he comes in for a project and it's already clear, defined by the client, what needs to be done. He is responsible for the how. He is responsible for coordination, quality, output, project planning, very autonomous, but the framework is set by the client. And an operational manager executes. Can be a recruiter, the mission is clear, the strategy is clear, the organization outlines the to-dos and don'ts and the how, and the person uses the tools that the organization is providing. Another difference we make is that a strategical entry manager, he can work globally, regional, or on local assignments. And an operational entry manager will work mainly on a local level. Also, strategic work requires minimal 15 years of experience, where we have certain recruiters with only 5 years of experience. So for very operational, standardized roles, even junior people can be considered. So what about the fees? Here you see some examples of assignments for strategic, organizational, and operational level. And for the fees, and watch out, this is really a range that you can expect. But sometimes, as I said, depending on the budget, the length, and the real content of an assignment, this can change. Daily rate for strategic entry manager between €700 and €1,500. And I think, yeah, in dollars, that would be a little bit more. So I would say then $800 until $1,600 approximately. But these are the averages that we now in 3 years expect and see in the market. Also from our experience, in the Netherlands, people the fees that people ask are a little bit higher than the fees that people ask in Belgium, and also in France the fees are higher than the fees are in the UK or in Belgium. And Germany is a bit in the same range as Belgium. So some differences here, but you can count on us. We are really transparent in that, and we will always discuss with you what is a reasonable price. We will also compare your fee with the fee that other freelancers are asking, and we will clearly tell you if you are above or below the average of the other people. So really count on us to have a very open conversation on that, and also with the client, we try to do that in all transparency. The fee that you see here is what you can expect as an entry manager. And of course, we will take a markup on this fee. And then we will communicate the fee that we will charge the client towards the client, and the fee that you can charge, we will discuss that fee with you. I hope this is clear. Should this not be the case, don't hesitate to ask questions. So, but from a contract perspective, let this be clear. You are a freelancer. You will set up a contract with HRbuilders, and HRbuilders will set up a contract with the clients. It's HRbuilders who will negotiate, and we are responsible for all the contractual details, so you don't have to worry about that. If you work 20 days a month, if you have a salary or a daily fee of 500 euros, you will be able to invoice 10,000 euros. Brutto, of course. Okay? So these are average figures. And now you know something more about the fee you can ask for. But we know that you also should be concerned about your healthcare. Your income will be unpredictable. So is it manageable for you in the context of your family situation? How shall you save money for retirement? What about taxation? If you can invoice 10,000 euros, and we say in Belgium 10,000 euros, okay, that's a good amount, that's a reasonable amount for an entry manager to live. But at the end of the month, how much will you have in your pocket to spend? Interesting questions and differences from country to country. We will give you some contact details of persons you can contact, besides Catherine in the US, Jennifer in Latin America, we in Europe, Cecile is expert in the French market, Sigrun in the German market. Also in Belgium, we have people who really can give you information. But in Belgium, we advise you to contact Nikki Luiten, who can give you more information about what kind of company you should set up. And internationally, I would advise you to take contact with your bookkeeper or with a lawyer to explain your situation, how you should set up your company. Always make a small business plan. Try to estimate how much you will be able to invoice. And therefore, I refer to the different levels that I described so that you have an idea in what range you will be able to invoice. So then, depending on your situation, you can decide whether or not you will set up your own company. There are alternatives. You can work via an umbrella company, and I'm not going to talk about the details. In France, we call that system portage salarial. I know you can also use a system in the UK and in the US, but an umbrella company is an intermediary between you as a contractor and the company for who you work. And the difference is that if you work with an umbrella company or with a portage salarial agency, that you are considered as an employee. So when you have no job, when you are not able to invoice, you will have an unemployment security system. But maybe that's a little bit too detailed because we have people from different countries. In France and Paris, you can contact Admission. And internationally, Sage is an agency that is based in Switzerland, but they can help you if you work in Europe and you consider working internationally. Also in Paris, Stéphanie Fauty is a friend of the house. We really trust her. She is also offering portage salarial services. So don't hesitate to reach out. You can find her number here. And of course, on internet, you can find a lot of information. In Belgium, a new site is launched for freelancers, which is called Next Economy. In the Netherlands, I refer with pleasure to Zipconomy, which in fact is a good site, and all the new information, also from a legal perspective, are shown on these websites. A really good study that I also used in this webinar is the McKinsey study on independent work, choice, necessity, and the gig economy. You can Google it, you will find it easily, but it offers also a lot of insights. So I think I give all the information that I have right now. Of course, each case is different. And some of you may have other questions, maybe, I don't know. We are here for you. So Cecile, Catherine, myself, Sihun, and Jennifer, happy to help you. Don't hesitate to reach out. Feel free to ask. Thank you very much for your attention. Maybe we'll meet soon. And good luck with your journey as a freelancer. Bye-bye.